So, while I don't know much about Susan Kuhnhausen's early life, I do know that she was born in 1955 as Susan Walters and had at least one brother named James. Her life growing up was a bit unstable. Her dad was a cook for the Air Force and her mom was a stay at home. Her dad's job, plus the fact that her parents separated when she was 7, meant that her and her siblings moved a lot. However, in the early 80s, Susan was in her late 20s and decided to move to Oregon and ended up settling down in Portland. As an adult, she was described as outgoing and lively, with a laugh that could steal the show. But despite her thriving social life, Susan had always been a little skeptical when it came to the idea of true love. Seeing her parents' relationship hadn't really given her much to aspire to. But in January of 1988, her mom gifted her a subscription to a matchmaking company, and Susan decided that it was time to test her luck. So, in that same month, she put an ad in a local newspaper that said, quote, "Someone different. Single white female, 33, overweight but not over life. Seeks single male who wants more out of a relationship than just slender." End quote.
Okay, ma'am. I like it. I like the ad.
Right. And she got many replies to this ad. One of those replies was from a man named Mike, who described himself as a 39-year-old divorced white male who enjoyed exploring and sunset walks on the beach. Within the month, they'd had their first phone call, and they would actually rack up more than 100 hours of calls before they even met in person. Susan loved the fact that she and Mike could have deep conversations, and Mike revealed to her that he'd been married before, like he said, and also had 2 young children, but he was ready for his next chance at love. They had their first date in February of 1988, less than a month after their first phone call, and throughout the next year, they'd have many adventures together, all culminating in their decision to drive to Reno to get married on December 10th, 1988, in a small, intimate ceremony